Welcome back, everybody, to our first playoff series here in our playoffs of summer of the whole damn season. Actually, we're all combined, man. This is the one that matters. This is for all the marbles. Top 3 go to Worlds. Everybody else stays home on the couch. And Dignitas for making this one competitive.
This is 2021 season, baby.
Yeah, buddy.
All wrapped up nice in a beautiful playoffs ball here. And in the series that everybody was predicting to be 3-0, cannot be the case anymore, my friend, because Dignitas never stop looking for those picks. They'll chase you down in that side lane all the way to the Nexus, dive in these towers, and grab that win. I'm glad that they did to give us, you know, some more exciting games here, because these have been real roller coasters, my friend.
Oh, yeah. Now, going into the draft here, last time around, I asked you, what we wanted to see differently from Dignitas to be able to bounce back. What do you want to see change up here from Evil Geniuses, or do you think they need to change up anything at all in draft? Was the composition fine and there were just too many fun plays?
I think that the team with 2 out of 3 winning lanes is going to win this game.
Okay.
That's the strategy I would go for now for these two teams with how it's going thus far.
What do you want to see Evil Geniuses sack? Which lane then?
Honestly, I want them to sack lane phase for bottom side, because their bottom side, they don't usually have these dominating, bottom side lane phases anyway. And we saw previously, even with multiple bans thrown at Neo and Afromu, they still were able to mine a lot of their own advantages there. So play completely off top triangle of the map, impact Jizuka, your biggest strengths, these solo laners, smash the early game, set contracts up for invades and aggressive play.
Okay, first pick of the draft there for Ignar, the Thresh, ready to make those plays here again. However, he will not be next to his good buddy Aphelios, as Dignitas will steal that one away. They will run back the bottom lane they played in game 1 here with Aphelios and Braum.
Yep, Aphelios taken away. They want to split up the Danny Aphelios plus Thresh combination. Very dangerous. Last time around, we still saw the Varus lock-in. There's a lot of, options here with Thresh. Super easy to just go right back to that one. 3 games of Varus there for Danny in the series. Bottom side, you've got your defenses for the Aphelios in your Braum, though. So, Afromu and Neo feeling very confident. Last time around for Dig, when we had the lack of very proactive engagement in their team comp, though, it really showed up towards the mid and late game stages. So Braum is definitely not your main person for getting off engages, much more disengage or counter engage for your team. So they tack on the Gnar here for Fake God to allow very versatile top lane. You can play the lane multiple ways. It's definitely good for blind picking, because you can go defensive boomerang farming or try and get aggressive early on if you have a very good matchup. So I do like this open possibility here. I get a little worried, though, if Afromu is not your main engage and he's on a bit more defensive Braum look. So see if they can supplement that with a bit more offensive look later on in the draft. This is probably going to be then bans for solo lanes coming through. We do get the Diana taking off AP jungle possibility and really trying to funnel Dignitas into more AD routes.
I'm curious then, will they also ban the Gragas? Because Acadian showed us last game how impressively he can play that champion, how he can pilot that, his barrels, his ults, everything was where it needed to be, and yes, there it is, banned away.
Yeah, both of the APs taken down. Meanwhile, I do really like the Rise ban for Dignitas. Just target ban Jizuke, one of his best champions, one of the most influential champions for him. And a very strong split pusher that would be very difficult to deal with, since Dig want to team fight. Once again, they're creating a 5-on-5. They don't want to get split pushed to death by Jizuke Rise. So I think that was a really important ban for them in the second round. And we'll see what he goes with here. It's going to have to be Jizuka revealing first, and counter pick will go to Yusui.
And hey, we got the Acadian Volibear. I believe it was last week, or maybe it was the week before. Either way, at one point here recently, after he won a game on Volibear, he tweeted like, "I'm just so good at the bear, dude," or something along those lines. So I'm looking forward to see a Chad Volibear performance out of Acadian. Let's see how Evil Genius is going to complete that draft. We do get the Kennen there for impact in the top lane. So Yordle on Yordle combat here in the top side of the map, as our final pick this draft will be Lucian there in the mid lane for Jizuke.
And this is the buffed up Kennen, extra Q damage here. So impact a legacy Kennen player with his hands on the biggest possible AoE team fight, AP wiping damage, and a strong lane. This, to me, gets EG multiple checkboxes from me, Flowers. You asked at the beginning, I said the team with multiple winning lanes, plus they have the capabilities of pushing this forward, and they have plenty of flank possibilities for transition in the game through mid game. So I really like this EG draft. They got Jizuke on the super aggressive Lucian for mid lane. Impact should have the advantage over Gnar on top side with those recent Kennen buffs. It feels so nice. You don't have to invest super heavily into your lane phase to still have a very strong opening lane phase, especially against Gnar. Only little caveat here is going to be, yes, the Kindred holding on to mid lane. So we get another look at it. Perks did it as the Cloud9 mid lane Kindred. I wasn't really sold on it then. Maybe we'll see it here. It does further emphasize some, crab control and stuff like that.
The big thing I'm looking at, too, is it can prevent Impact's big team fight one-shot that you're talking about, right? If he swoops in and Lamb's Respite gets placed down in time, things are different. But also, whenever Kindred is played against a Yeet champion, Kindred's ult becomes significantly weaker. It doesn't matter if you're standing on hollowed ground if Lee Sin just whoops your ass off of it. So that means they need to be very aware of that Dragon's Rage cooldown, of where that's going to be, and if it can displace whoever's looking to get saved.
And you can actually do it first with the Lee Sin, where you just go kick the Kindred away from the teammates, so you never even get it down in the first place.
Right. You can have your hollowed ground over there in middle of nowhere.
Yeah, you don't have to kick anyone off of the ultimate if you just kick the Kindred away, and then the ultimate is down there in the river.
All righty. Let's see if they can get it done. Dignitas and Evil Geniuses, both with 1 win under their belt here in this best of 5. Level 1, it's Dignitas once again, grouping up and ready to go. Yasui will be mid lane here. He will see Jizuke. Aphromoo steps forward. He'll find Ignar, but okay, a little trade back and forth. Couple autos for a Winter's Bite. Comes out right about even. Not much more to see.
No ward left behind either, so just a little very hesitant move. And once again, I think all 3 games, to me, EG has had the better level 1. They've gotten more information. Dignitas have made swipes trying to get early cooldowns or a summoner spell. They tried top, they tried bottom, now they try invading towards red, but every single time EG gets more information off the back half of it. It hasn't resulted in anything really big, especially with how swingy the mid and late stage game has been in this series, but I would still say EG have had the better openers every single time, and this time they get the ward on the back of red because of it. Good job there by Impact. Waits around for the full duration, so they're going to see Acadian start top side. And Volibear is definitely one that wants to try and impact some lanes early on. You can definitely full clear, especially ever since he got the buffs to the E. Feels quite nice early on, but you're always looking at, especially if you have an early ward on buff start, trying to protect the other half of the map.
Ooh, nicely done there by Yasui, sidestepping away from the piercing light. And Jizuke will not be able to get the better of him too much there in that early trade. As down here in bottom side, let's remember exactly how things went last game because it got spicy nice and early. And hey, here's your reminder. Like I said in game number 1, ProView's switching up every match here in the best of 5. And here in game number 3, we're looking at Ignar and Aphromoo. So if you want to step up your support game, check that one out, see exactly how the pros are playing it. As Neo and Aphro will hit level 2 first. They're marching forward after Danny, but Danny and Ignar walk away.
Yeah, easily avoid the level 2 power spike, so should be normal lane states. As we said, the Kennen early advantage on the Gnar pushes Fake God into tower. Those Kennen buffs just feel so nice, and he started with the Doran's Blade. Again, you don't have to super invest in your lane phase to be able to have a strong one nowadays. You can just go with the Doran's Blade, then go to the AP build so you can have those bigger ultimates for the team fights towards the mid stages of the game, transition towards Dragon quite easily. Meanwhile, Jizuka does get the early push onto Yasui, and he recalls for the early buy. Remember, he does not have teleport, so that wave's going to get all the way into the tower. He has gone with the extra exhaust here, so even if his ultimate, doesn't time out perfectly or people get kicked off of it. He's got the extra exhaust for the Kennen for the team fight. It's always such a big summoner spell. And with him and Aphromoo rotating cooldowns on their exhaust, they should be able to always have one exhaust for the team fight and try to shut down Impact that way.
Yeah, that's the thing that immediately came to mind for me, is it'll be so difficult for Impact to find that window as Contracts jumps in there and fights for the Scuttle Crab. He will not allow Acadian to take that one. However, worth pointing out, on the other side of the map, that's where the Kindred mark spawned. That's where Yasui's looking. The mark in terms of how many you need is 4. That's what Yasui is aiming for. Contracts continuing to track Acadian here in the jungle. We'll see how they juggle this Krug aggro back and forth between them. Both junglers almost having their smite ready. You know, Contracts wants to steal away the big Krug here too. Goes for it, gets it. Acadian wanted to time his smite there with a lightning bolt, but the delay was too slow.
And once again, this is why we highlight every single game for this EG lineup. And they've got winning lane for Impact. They've got Jizuke pushing in as well. Contracts continues to go for these fights in the jungle, contesting him at every single turn.
I love it. Aphromoo and Neo taking some damage here in the bottom lane. Ignar letting those hooks fly as Danny is pulled to safety by a Lantern, making sure that they don't lose too much health in retaliation there. Nice little early game lead here for the side of Evil Geniuses as Impact continues just slamming this top lane. 28-17 in terms of farm. Yeah, he's got a few extra minions alive here in the lane, but not enough to make up that difference.
As we said, Impact legacy Kennen player. Very happy with the state of the champion right now. Able to get priority for his jungler to invade, and they know now after reset should be bottom side Volibear. They did get plenty of security with their Scuttle Crab, though, so should be able to avoid the extra aggression coming out. And Evil Geniuses, their next move here is off of Ignar reset, try and make some sort of play with your support jungle. Because you have your lanes in such strong states, keep up your aggression. Contracts immediately goes for it. You even see Ignar trailing, so he had the option of whenever you reset and go through mid, you can come follow, or you can go right back down to lane. Because of the reset, though, and them seeing Ignar go through mid lane, that's going to prompt the same from Dignitas, and they bring everybody up here to try and contest. He's got to get out of there after the Raptors.
Yup, Contracts looking to steal this one away. Acadian's going to be pulled back in here with a death sentence. Contracts running all the way out with Jizuke dashing over the wall. Yasui! First blooded by the Evil Geniuses. That is not what the Kindred needs to be doing.
The comms there, Flowers, you know are, hey, we just reset bottom side. We've got both coming. We see still Varus bottom side. Neo's just itching to get into this. We have numbers advantage. And yet, even on the run, Contracts and Jizuke are looking for the kill. Contracts lands the Q, just immaculately done by him onto Yasui. Both summoner spells down for the Kindred, and they kill him and push him in. What an outplay here from the Evil Geniuses. 3 versus 4 on reset. The slower moving champions here with Dig. There's no surprise dash out of Aphelios, so.
Oh boy. Well, there is Impact going in there for the flash engage with a slicing Maelstrom. Fake God gets away. Acadian right next to him. Guarantees his safety. Evil Geniuses with the multi-man rotation into the top lane here. Will not get the kill, but this is just more of the show being run. Thank you, sir. That is not a good lane state here for Mr. Fake God.
I'm in your brain.
We're on the same page, man.
It's going to still be an effective flash trade there from Impact because massive minion denial, wave bouncing back now for them. This is how you want to play off of, drafting like this for your strong lanes, and your jungle continues to invade. You see Contracts there, takes away the red. They still continue to put up these points of pressure. However, Dignitas getting something on the backside, consolation prize of the Dragon. This is paid for by the gold deficit. You see here, FTX gold advantage 1.5 for Evil Geniuses still here in the early game due to all their aggression. And we haven't even approached the 8-minute mark here for Rift Herald yet. You expect them to continue to keep up this pace since they have the advantage of pre-existing deep wards from all of these invades already pulled off. Should be an easy Rift Herald follow-up for them. So yes, they have paid the price of the Dragon, but they should be rewarded with gold.
Okay, Jizuke will continue maintaining pressure here in this mid lane. Yasui just not in a good spot to be able to fight back against this Lucian. Lethality on the menu here. Once again, not just for the Varus, but also for Lucian here in the mid lane. Both of them having that serrated Dirk nice and early. Both of them with the tier in inventory, stacking towards that Muramana for the incredible mid-game power spike that provides. So Evil Geniuses scaling up, looking good. Nearly about to grab that first plate. Nearly. All right, it's not there.
One more shot from Jizuke will be able to cash in. And since the jungler has recalled, he might be able to get it. As far as the builds too, yeah, I'm a really big fan still of the Gale Force Shireldas for Lucian builds, but I definitely see, especially in this game, the idea for going for, you know, Eclipse plus Muramana. The mid-game spike is incredible with that. Muramana, once you get that transformation, so much damage on your abilities as well. And it does kind of round out with a lot of their early game focus to have a way to end the game quite nicely. But man, the Gale Force Shirelda's Grudge is so clean. Being able to have the slow on your ultimate, you can chunk people out before the team fight even starts. Also gives you some early armor penetration for things like Braum, like Gnar, like...
Hey, talking about Gnar, he's having a bad time. He's at 200 HP. Jizuke just emptied the whole magazine into him, dude. There was no way out of that one.
Making Mini Gnar just look like a stuffed teddy bear. Pops him open, all the fuzz is on the ground. He just
emptied the Uzi into a teddy bear. That ain't right. Evil Geniuses, they get the Rift Herald. They're summoning it up in the top lane. They got to try to keep their bottom laners alive. They're doing so for now. Ignar getting jumped on. Goes for the death sentence. Looking to at least get one back. Acadian's taken low. Danny's still looking for a bit more damage here. Acadian at 300 HP stays alive. And Dignitas try to strike back here in the bottom lane.
Very good cross-map play from Dig because they cannot salvage the teddy bear on top side.
No, that teddy bear is gone.
That teddy bear got 80 rounds into him. And so you have to do something on the other side of the map. You can't just give up as EG push very far ahead. Yeah, it's still an advantage EG play. You know, they get 2 towers for it. They get the early kill, but at least Dignitas gets something back for themselves. They dive on bottom side. They force Varus off of the wave in addition to getting the kill and flash out of Ignar.
Things are looking bad for Fake God here in this game, man. He's just not got the break points that he needs in terms of his economy. 86 to 49 CS. He's got a Phage and a Null Magic Mantle in his inventory. Things are not good for this guy who's going to need to jump into the middle of team fights to be a disruptor, to cause that chaos and take that aggro. It's rough. Dignitas is going to be challenged here in these team fights, or the challenge might be too much and they just have to abdicate objectives, abdicate these early goals. We've got the next Drake of the game spawning here in under 90 seconds with Evil Geniuses commanding nearly a 4,000 gold lead.
They've got a lot of problems racking up here. Yeah. Your problem list is getting very long for Dignitas. Their defense actually consists mostly of these cooldowns of the double exhaust timers, Braum CC, and Kindred ultimate. Their defenses are not in their champion items. Those actually don't exist. These are brawlerish items. You mentioned how far Gnar is behind. Acadian, you know, is going for the Divine Sunderer build, so that's not incredibly tanky itself either. You can, in 1v1 scenarios, have a lot of time to sustain because you get more heal off of it.
Yeah.
But not for team fights. You don't really have that luxury, especially when there's big damage coming from Kennen, Lucian, Varus. It's just EG have just so much more damage at their fingertips, and it's harder to get off the damage types that Dig have invested in with a mid-lane Kindred who's been pushed in, and the Aphelios who's still trying to scale up a bit.
Look at the mythics online for Evil Geniuses. 1, 2, 3, 4 rolls. Over on the side of Dignitas, only one fully completed item in the Essence Reaver. Contract's coming in to make the play. It goes from bad to worse for Fake God.
See, that was a bigger teddy bear at least. You know, they went to the fair and first time around.
Oh, they won the prize at the carnival.
The first time around, they only won the small one.
And now they won the big one.
Now they got the big teddy bear. There you go.
But it got messed up just as bad as the first one did.
Yeah, well, too bad.
Too bad.
Back to the consolation prize of Dragon's Flowers.
Okay, well, Dignitas will at least be able to take this one down. It will not be a Cloud Soul here again. We'll see which soul we get between the Ocean and the Mountain. Ocean Soul, that could be very important. for the likes of the Gnar and the Volibear and the Braum in particular being these meatballs here for the team fight, but they still would have 2 more Drakes to secure to hit that point. Evil Geniuses, of course, do not want to allow that to continue, and you can bet that they are going to be ready to challenge here at the next one of those dragons that spawns. Under a minute left before turret plates fall, and Jizuke will pick up another 160 gold with his pressure on the mid lane tier 1.
Man, there is so much pressure on Neo's shoulders right now. And yes, Neo and Aphromu have been one of the real bright spots for Dignitas, but man, this Aphelios is going to have to do so much work if Dignitas are going to win this game. And
it's hard.
You've got double exhaust on your team, Kindred Ultimate on your team, Braum on your team, and Gnar trying to get Gnar ultimates for you. But even with everybody trying to set that up, it is going to be incredibly difficult because he has so many flank angles to worry about, plus longer range damage to deal with from Varus coming over the top. Not only are Kennen and Lee Sin looking for those flanks plays on you over and over and over, but you're going to have to deal with the artillery as well.
So for anybody who noticed, there in the mid lane, Jizuke empties the culling into Yasui. He gets pulled to safety, dashes back into the turret to do damage to the turret. He had Corrupting Pot on, so he was burning Yasui for like 3 damage per second from that stupid Corrupting burn, and that's what the question mark pings are for, is why is this stupid turret hitting me? Because Corrupting Potion did that. Remember, my friends, if you're laning with Corrupting Potion, be careful about the turret aggro. You're going to take a couple extra shots if you aren't paying attention. Turret falls there in the bottom lane. First one of the game that Dignitas has secured for themselves.
All right, fishing around in some dangerous territory down here because Impact does have teleport. So the attempts for Dignitas here to clear out the wards, you know, you're trying to remove as many dive options that your opponents have onto your Aphelios by sweeping through, make sure there are not teleport wards being left behind in the area that your Aphelios is playing. So, hey, Aphelios is playing bottom side. We try and sweep through the jungle, get everything out of the woodwork here so that, you know, Impact's not level 11 Kennen ulting in behind him and blowing him up. But even with that, it's a very easy retake for EG. And you see them just move immediately right back through their jungle, even though it was previously in Dignitas territory. They can just hard shove straight up mid and push them back under their own towers.
Yeah, Evil Genius is feeling confident here, playing aggro with that big lead that they have 15 minutes into the game. 5K FTX total gold here on the side. You can see it's a 2,000 lead over the next closest person in the game for Jizuke. And by the way, there's Lamb's Respite. Yasui had to use that just to not die.
Flowers, they told me the imports were getting paid too much, but Jizuke is taking it to extremes here. What is that gold lead, my man? He's got all the turret plates to himself. Yeah, the tower kill to himself. He's got 2 of the 3 kills of the team to himself. Rich. That is one a rich man. And guess what? It's also going to be an early conversion on the 2-item power spike we were highlighting for the Lucian, since he did go with the Eclipse Muramana as we were looking for. This is going to be a very, very early power spike for him. Once that thing transforms, so much damage out of the abilities too. It is an insane mid-game power spike that's actually coming quite early game because of how rich he is.
I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I have not been impressed with Kindred mid from what I have seen so far.
I've seen a couple in my day.
And I kind of wish I didn't.
Look like what?
Yeah, I'm not excited about Kindred mid. I'll put it that way.
I will say the biggest point to me for it was your point about trying to counter Kennen ultimate.
Yeah.
That's about it.
That seems like what you're kind of banking on here, because in terms of its lane presence, it's not there. It doesn't have that. It's up against Lucian. It's not working. So hopefully soon here we can check in on the mark count. I don't believe he's at 4 because they've just not had any control over the map. Jizuke, again, this culling is getting ults, it's getting summoner spells, it's doing it all alone.
And that is literally the most important summoner spell in the game that he just burned.
Yeah.
The flash
Aphelios
off of Aphelios. That is the #1 most important summoner spell in the game, and Jizuke gets it with his Justice ultimate.
Not a good trade deal for the Dignitas boys. Now they will continue trying to defend underneath the tier 2 turret here. Evil Geniuses keeping that push going. 4-man squad setting up. Meanwhile, they've got Danny over there in the mid lane applying pressure there. They want to make sure they're constantly threatening more than one place, making it so Dignitas has to make these choices. Now with Impact back in the top side, Yasui must retreat.
Guess what? Contract's deleted somewhat.
Yeah, we got a Cadian already dead. I was was expecting to see a little bit more. I didn't even see Acadian die. By the time the camera panned over, I just see the Braum ulti. I'm like, oh, okay, we don't really have a fight breaking out. And I didn't even notice the dead volley bear.
Oh man, I realized they're all stuffed animals, Flowers.
Yep, everybody.
It's the astronaut meme. All of them are just stuffed animals. Now
Always was.
The bear just got karate kicked across the screen. You didn't even get to see him.
No.
Before he went poof.
He just got destroyed. And I have been updated all behind the scenes. The producers have told me Yasui's got 2 marks. That's not enough.
Yeah, I mean, mid lane Kincho has a much more difficult time at getting them because it's a lot harder to go for your jungle invades, especially since they didn't have any level 1 priority. They didn't have any winning lanes. Yeah, there it is.
That's animal abuse. Goodbye, volley bear. We will see you soon.
I was one of those angry kids. It's like, yeah, here's the stuffed animal, Teddy. You happy now? No, he just kicks it off into the trash can. Oh, I didn't want the bear. I wanted the Gnar.
Oh no, it's a Karen child. They're spoiled rotten and they aren't thankful for nothing and they're just throwing their stuff against the wall. You hate to see it. Evil Geniuses with an incredible lead. 19 minutes in, man, and it's almost 8K. How do you even fight this as Dignitas? I feel like you're pretty much praying for Evil Geniuses to screw up and overcommit to a Baron again or something.
Yeah.
Because other than that, how do you even make the choice?
There's 2 options. Well, option number 1 here is Afromu charge at him. He's got 2 stacks on his passive. He exhausts him. They're really chasing this one down.
They want contracts. They're going after him. They're going in, and they found the kill. Yasui now with a Lamb's Respite. Death Sentence pulls Afromu right back in, but he is doomed. Goodbye, good night. Afromu's been killed off, but we only got ourselves a 1-for-1 so far. Neo's got about 200 chakrams spinning around there, and they don't want nothing to do with that, so everybody walks away.
Yeah, actually, an extra escape here means only Afromu goes down. I thought Evil Geniuses were going to claim 2-for-1 in the exchange, and yet Dignitas pretty happy to at least trade 1-for-1 here on even terms. You get a little bit of gold, but they expended both exhausts on the same timer. And we were talking about desyncing the timers for your exhaust so you always have one ready for Kennen. Guess what? Your Braum exhaust is down for your pick onto the Lee Sin, and then once you get hit with the Varus chain, very nice stuff there from Danny, lands his chain, spreads onto Du. You think they're going to be able to get it, but he didn't land his E onto Yasui, and Yasui flashes out to escape and live another day. They also had to expend the other exhaust on the same timer once Impact got here to ensure that the rest of them were not chased down.
Yeah, now things are scary. Now you've got flash-ready Kennen as Evil Geniuses demands attention around the Baron pit. EG knows that if Dig try to meet them on fair, open ground, that they will slam that fight. Fake God and Acadian, both of their Divine Sunderers and their... what's that stupid thing called now? Steel Caps! Their Divine Sunderers and their Steel Caps are not very Kennen-proof, my friend.
I have faith you're going to get there, baby. The Steel Caps. No longer.
Man, I've been playing since 2009. I had 10 years of Ninja Tabbies.
I could see Ninja Tabby just rolling around in your head.
Yeah, I was like, get out of here, you stupid Ninja Tabby. What's the name of the red shoe? Steel Caps. It is a Steel Cap, and it don't do a thing against Kennen's ulti. That is the important part. Also, a stopwatch here for Impact.
Since I worked in, we see Neo once again, the victim of another Jizuke ultimate here. Working in industry, in the factories, you have to wear steel-plated or steel-capped boots as well.
Yeah,
very boots. Very effective for working around heavy machinery. Not so effective versus big Kennen ultimates.
Yeah,
Impact has some other answers for you, so it's going to be scary here. Those exhaust timers, you can just look at them. They're ticking away. They're counting down the days until they get to use those again to try and ward off this scary Kennen. But Impact is looking to make the big plays. Got his flashes, got his stopwatch, so we shall see if Evil Geniuses get their wish. Just start up Baron is all you have to do to try and draw Dignitas out to you. There goes Contracts, well done. Jizuka is in there for the DPS, and the rest of the team is screening.
And I remember the first time that I wore steel-toed boots back when I was a teenager. I just went out into the garage and kept dropping heavy stuff on my foot. Just amazed at the fact that it didn't
sounds
hurt.
like a Flowers thing to do. You gotta test them.
Yeah, I had to make sure that they were really as good as advertised, right? Some real powerful
Please tell me
armor.
you did not try and drive a forklift over them.
No, I didn't try to drive any heavy machinery over him or anything, but we dropped some heavy stuff on there. Now let's see if Evil Geniuses can just drop the hammer on Dignitas here. Dig's health bars are already completely gone. They have no way to contest this. Everybody except Neo is already almost dead. Impact's chasing after Arcadian, wants to make sure there's no way that Dig can try to steal this out. There's your exhaust down into Impact now. Ignar looking to play defensively here, goes for the flag, goes for the stopwatch. Stasis is in, Lamb's Respite is down. Baron's at about 1,000 HP. Evil Genius is looking to take this out. They're going to get the kill onto Afromu as well. Evil Geniuses with the Baron secure.
That was slick, Ignar. That was slick. He goes onto Lamb's Respite, he gets the ultimate, he death sentences first though, and then walks over to the edge, flashes into Baron Pit, so he doesn't die, but he locked in Afromu long enough for him to die, and it's 2 kills and Baron over to the Evil Geniuses. Flowers, wrap this one up, baby. It is gonna be 2-1 shortly.
It is done, man. 24 minutes in with this kind of a lead, with these champions and these items. You said that you like seeing the Sorelda's Grudge Muramana combination on Lucian. Well, hey, look at that. Jizuke is ready to go. Here's another look at how this fight honestly never really even happened. Dig just got chunked out of ever having the possibility.
Yeah, so exhaust early there on Danny, so he just walks away, and he even walks back to land another arrow. Danny has just been pelting out the damage. Afromu had this flash forward that was actually quite nice because he avoided the E kill that would have killed him from Danny, and he got his ultimate off. He then still goes back in, gets his exhaust down to delay Impact, but my cool play was down here with Ignar.
Okay.
Out of his Zonias, he gets back onto the Lamb's Respite, but then he lands the death sentence, flashes over the wall. He kept Yusui in there. Oh, it was actually on Yusui. It wasn't on Afromu. He baited Afromu.
But it kept Afromu close to protect.
Exactly. He was protecting Yusui, who was the target of the death sentence. Then, meanwhile, back to base. Catch us up.
Well, we have Acadian trying to bonk contracts on the head, but he ain't got no money, so the bonk doesn't hurt. That's pretty much where we are, my friend, as Evil Geniuses.
It's a stuffed animal bonk.
Yeah. It's just one of those little...
It's cute.
Yeah, one of them cute little fluffy bonks. But hey, that's about all they got. Afromu, with his shield up, those bullets just chew through him. And Evil Geniuses continue the pressure in all 3 lanes. A 1-2-2 split as Ignar hovers between bottom and middle lane, ready to protect whoever might get jumped on. Mid lane, tier 3 is the first one to fall. Top lane, tier 3 still having most of its health left. Impact is pushing more slowly as the one lane that only has a single man there. Bottom lane, tier 3 turret now gone too. Jizuke takes care of that. They're waiting on the next waves. They've still got that Red Bull Baron for another 45 seconds. Top lane, tier 3, goodbye. Okay, now we have to see those inhibitors themselves go down. Acadians into the back line. Afromu going to be pressured now as Contract stuck in the middle going into the stasis. Neo's going to be the first one to die, and the fight is over. The game is over. Dignitas is over. Evil Geniuses absolutely slam game number 3 and take the dub in 26 minutes.
Jizuke on the Lucian mid. He had his worst game of the entire split on Lucian mid that everyone remembers for the tower dive.
Yeah.
But this was one of the best of the entire year. Absolutely stomps mid lane. That Kindred did nothing but run back to base or ult people and then flash away and try and run back to base again.
That Kindred might as well have been a level 6 Evelyn, dude. Just invisible the whole game. Did not ever seem to have a real impact. The biggest impact that he had was the fact that Jizuke just wasn't able to farm kill him because he had Lamb's Respite to survive the callings underneath the tier 2 turret. The mid lane Kindred, big thumbs down for me. Hate it.
We are not going to use it on Masterminds.
I am glad to hear that, because that's the thing. You have a severe responsibility to the community. If you put that out there and show people to do it, they're going to do it. You just saved so many people's solo queue by not playing with Kindred.
If they watch some of the games that we've already seen of it, they're going to need to.
All right. Well, before we toss to another break here after game number 3, with the news about moving our championship back to LA, we're feeling extra grateful for everyone hanging out with us on Twitter and Reddit and sharing the love on the broadcast. Thank you guys so much for all that. And Twitter user at Murua117 as an extra special thank you for chilling with us on social media. We are sending you a fancy new mouse and keyboard, courtesy of our peripherals partner here, Roccat. Yes, look, Kobe, you could be a wonderful peripherals model if the LCS ever ends up not being your passion anymore.
Ways too.
Oh, yes.
Oh
look at that. The man's got skills. Now, and oh, look at that. Yes, we already also have our lovely winner has responded to our producers. We absolutely love to see it. The producers are not evil bots trying to scam you guys out of your credit card number. I have had people before send me DMs on Twitter saying, hey, is this person legit? Because they told me I just won some free Rocket stuff. And I'm like, yeah, it's one of our producers. You should trust them. They're cool people.
Sounds just like what an evil bot would say.
Truly. What is the right choice? The right choice is to get those peripherals locked in for yourself. All right, and with that taken care of, it is time for us to go into our break. On the other side, we will be learning more about EG's difference maker in Danny. Don't you miss it.
One spot, yeah, no key, got the game on lock, ayy. Big threes when I take my shot, ayy. On the rise and we ain't gon' drop on the grind, it's our time, just watch. If you want it, you can get it. Life gets hard, but don't you let it get you down. Go get the crown because our time is now. Ayy, we gotta get it, gotta get up, gotta go, we gotta get it. Ayy, they won't forget us, made it happen and we all became legends. We gotta get it, gotta get it, gotta get it, we gotta get it, gotta get it, gotta get it, we gotta get it, gotta get it, gotta get it, we gotta get it. We can't be contained when we leave the game. My name will remain. We don't need the fame. You can keep this chain. We broke free, so things won't be the same. Nah, on the mission, gotta get it. Let's work. We were raised on the net. I'm raising my net worth, but it ain't about the money. Nah, it ain't about the cause. All that matters is the world knows who we are. Stars. If you want it, you can get it. Life gets hard, but don't you let it get you down. Go get the crown because our time is now. Hey, we gotta get it. Gotta get up, gotta go, we gotta get it. Hey, they won't forget us. Made it happen and we all became legends. We gotta get it, gotta get it, gotta get it. We gotta get it, gotta get it, gotta get it. We gotta get it, gotta get it, gotta get it. We gotta get it. Know that our time is now. Yes, life can get hard, but don't ever let it keep you down. See, we are all kings and queens and we all deserve crowns. So don't wait. Get up, go out and get it. Now. Hey, we gotta get it. Gotta get up, gotta go, we gotta get it. Hey, they won't forget us. Made it happen and we all became legends. We gotta get it, gotta get it, gotta get it. We gotta get it, gotta get it, gotta get it. We gotta get it, gotta get it, gotta get it. We gotta get it. We gotta get it. Gotta get it, gotta get it. We gotta get it. Gotta get it, gotta get it, get it.
Hello and welcome back to the LCS. So a few weeks ago, Shox tweeted this photo, marking 9 years of reckless interviews, 2,000 kills later. And I couldn't help but think how crazy it is to see legendary careers unfold in real time, to recall the growing pains of today's brightest stars. I mean, in the LCS, Bjergsen and Doublelift grew up before our eyes, retiring from professional play as undeniable legends. Now, after 10 years of history, who will form the next generation of LCS icons? Some have already cast such a weight on the shoulders of Rookie of the Year candidate Danny. And can you blame them? He checks the box for a fresh face, kicking off his pro career at 17, finishing his high school exams during week 2 of the summer season. He started playing League of Legends at 6. Are you kidding me? But age aside, it was his rapid promotion from amateur to LCS by Evil Geniuses that generated hype. But it wasn't all smoke. He's weeks away from Reckless's 2K kills, but he's putting some good numbers up, and perhaps most notably, showcasing superior team fight capability coupled with a demeanor uncommon amongst budding athletes, as recognized by his teammates. All signs of a star in the making, a status he's eager to uphold.
I think it's definitely noticeable that I'm performing like better than I should be for how inexperienced and young I am. But I think for me personally, that's like expected. I think with the level of hype I got from amateur to here, I think it should be a standard to be this good.
So here we are with a unique opportunity to get to know someone who could be a face of our league in years to come before it happens. And thanks to a conversation with head coach Peter Dunn and strategic coach Artemis, we know more about him. Some of you may have heard of his solo queue adventures with notable personalities like I Will Dominate or Tarzan when he set the LP record. Picks like Kaisa caught the attention of scouts, and his time on EGP was well spent, developing in a true team environment for the very first time. Now, since joining the LCS roster, Danny seeks the respect of his veteran support Ignar. Similar to the perceived relationship between Tactical and poor JJ, he may take some time to warm up, but will open his heart when he does. A heart filled with a love for plushies. But the T-Turtles octopus is his favorite, not pictured here, if you want to cop one for yourself. But as a player, Danny learns best through structure and practice, which is very apparent when he describes his approach to the game.
For sure, I like to do like fundamentals first, like get the priority, get the wave, transfer our pressure with our team, and then make the play, because that's probably the best way to do it. And I really like that style of just mid-game macro, where we just get the mid-wave, push our sides, and then look into the jungle for camps and wards and stuff.
This more by-the-book approach can contrast the limit testing, learn-by-doing ways of players like Jizuke, but let's just call them yin and yang. EG staff have worked very hard to get Danny comfortable with discomfort and even losing in favor of learning, all the while encouraging the aggression that has worked out so well for the team as a whole. Ultimately, there is still much to learn about Danny. Peter Dunn asserts that he plays more like Carzzy than Reckless if you're looking for a reference point, but Artemis importantly notes that Danny is still growing into the bot laner he wants to be. So, will we watch his legendary career unfold in real time? Who knows what heights he'll achieve in the years to come. But one thing we can say for sure is Danny ain't going anywhere, at least if he has anything to say about it. Landing on the second All-Pro team is a great starting point. Perhaps a playoff dub is just the next step.
Well, it's looking good.
Yeah?
I think it's looking great for his career so far. Like, it's interesting. I think this split, this year has been incredible when it comes to new faces in the league. Neo is one of them. He's going up against Neo, of course, here today. And then we had new faces in the sense of Tactical. I know he's like been around for a few.
A little bit more.
Exactly. Lost Neo, like we already mentioned Neo, but like FBI is another new one. And with the old faces kind of like moving on, we need that young blood coming in, and so Danny definitely set a fire in the summer split.
Yeah, I think the way that he has slotted into EG has been incredible. You saw all those, stats talking about how good he is, especially in team fights, and that's what they need because the entire rest of the team has aggression in the early game on lock. We talk about Ignar's roaming, you talk about Jizuke's pressure, Impact being a beast, Contracts and Svenskarum both wanting to go invade, and I think having a great stable AD carry in the bot lane is huge for them because it allows them to then transition that late game lead, or early game lead, into a late game carry.
And he's put on a perfect team to learn. The fact that you have, Jizuke right now, who's just dominated this previous game going up against Yusui. Like, even like getting into that conversation, that was like rough to watch. But also like in the top lane of Impact, if we're just talking about players that and Ignar in his in the bot lane, if we're just talking about willingness to learn, you get a lot of lessons after games like these.
Yeah, I think we have so much history over the course of the regular split to look back on. I mean, you have players around him setting records. Impact, when he set this early game record for biggest goal differential, it was actually in against Dignitas at the time. So it was super impressive to see. And this previous game, you were talking about Jizuke popping off. Look at that goddamn goal difference!
Wow.
That's a big number right there.
72% forward percentage. I have never seen a number that high when it comes to forward percentage. Like, I just haven't. And a lot of it comes to the fact that Kindred didn't exist within that lane, was pushed out of lane multiple times. He then went towards topside, got a great dive there. Jizuke really took control of this game. And of course, like, even from the perspective of, it's a full AD composition from the side of Dignitas, so I didn't really like that draft for many reasons. And I thought, and a lot of the times, then the onus is on EG to react, to have a great counterpoint. Jizuke dominated in this game.
Yeah, multiple strong points on the side of EG. We've heard Jizuke talk so much about how he wants to be that aggressive mid laner, really pushing into the face of his enemies. And overall, when it comes to Evil Geniuses, we'll see if they can clutch out this series and knock down Dignitas QNTMPAY to the lower bracket right after this break.
There we go.
That kind of towel.
There was a mess. I wiped up a mess.
Yeah, you.
Where is the butt? Never mind, I found it.
When game day is a go, there's a Bud Light there.